Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Socially Radical Guitarist. Song you heard just now is Cobra from Shizzo, and we've got another guest in a row. Shizzo is here. But just before that, before I get to ask him some questions, we're going to have the little disclaimer that we always do. Anything I say or anything that my guests say on the show or the respective opinions of the host and the guests, they have nothing to do with Radio Waterloo, any of its subsidiaries, or any of its affiliates. So, no, try as you might, you cannot sue public radio over this program. And while the African and Caribbean Inclusion Center is sponsoring this show, the respective opinions of the host and the guests are solely the opinions of the host and the guests. So don't sue the nonprofit either. Support the nonprofit, especially support that drive for full integration, full inclusion, and full equality. If you value this show, if you believe hearing the truth is important, then please go to sociallyradicalguitarist.com and support. Um, also, we are partnered with Socially Radical Web Design. And if you are in need of a website, it's Socially Radical Web Design at a socially reasonable price. All right. So, Shizzo, great music, great music. Amazing skill on the guitar.
Hey,
Um,
thank you, man.
yes. So, I just want to know how long have you been playing, and what did it take to get you to that point? How long did it take you to learn, some of the more intricate techniques that you do?
Okay, so I've been playing guitar for about 13 years now. I started, you know, taking some lessons from my dad because, he's the typical dad who plays the standard chords and shit. So I started playing with my dad, then later on started to get some private lessons. And eventually it got to the point where I was getting pretty good at the instrument and sometimes even better than the teacher, you know? So yeah, I'd say about 13 years, but about 5 or 6 years since I really started to get, pretty serious about it.
Okay, okay. So 5 or 6 years ago is when you really started, putting that effort in and putting that practice in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always been pretty, mm, a very musical person. But I'd say when I was in high school and you start getting those things like, what are you going to do with your life or what are you going to study and et cetera, et cetera. And there's really never been a plan B for me. So it's always been like, I've never thought about it. I just wanted to do music.
That's beautiful. When you have that passion and that drive, amazing things can be done. Um,
For sure,
it's
for sure.
yes. Now, who are your influences? I have a suspicion of who they might be, but just I want to hear it from you.
I want to hear them from you first.
Yeah. Yeah. So who might your influences be? Like who were you really listening to and wanting to copy or wanting to at least emulate?
Yeah. So I'd say everything started with some classics like Tool. Everybody starts with the classics. And eventually got to the point where I started to listen to more technical music like Animals as Leaders. And yeah, and I mean, Animals, Animals, Polyphia, Intervals. Uh, but that was when I was starting to get like really into technical stuff and going hard as fuck on the guitar and really technical shit. But right now I don't really listen to a lot of guitar driven music like I do, and I've been jamming a lot to Circadian by Intervals. But really I've been listening to you know every type of music like electronic, some rap stuff like Ghostman and Suicide Boys and stuff like that, you know?
Okay, okay, yeah. I pretty much guessed it right. I was right on the dot. Intervals, animals as leaders, polyphia.
You
That
know it,
was
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just want to know how you got, like, what was the production process like for Cobra, because um you're using an interesting guitar tone, and um I don't know, like the drums and the bass, like it's all working together pretty well. It's all pretty intricate. Um, did you have like musicians come in to play that, or was it a mix of electronic stuff? Like, how did you get uh, this song made?
Well, everything I do is 100% done by me. You know, from guitar work to production to mixing to mastering. I do 100%. Well, I guess I just don't do the covers from like the artwork, but like on the music side, everything is done 100% by me. So Cobra, Cobra and Rose Gold, which is the song that's coming out today, uh, those were the first two songs I wrote for Shizzo, and you know, it was like a somewhat of a discovery process. You know, finding my style of writing, and you will see that for future songs it has changed. You know, everything has matured and evolved. But yeah, drums aren't really recorded; they are programmed drums, and I don't really use bass. I used like 808s. You know what 808 is?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like an electronic, it- like, is it one of those keyboards where you play the notes and then the octave goes down?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
it's basically it's like hip hop bass, electronic
yeah,
bass. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if you listen closely, it's like those classic trap bum bum 808 sounds.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was like I finished writing those songs back when I was getting out of high school and released them just recently. So it's been like a year and a half since then, or no, actually like 2 years since I wrote those songs. So it's been a long process and very rewarding for sure.
Yeah, you definitely put a lot of time into
I have,
everything.
yeah,
Yes,
I have.
yeah. You 2 years definitely sounds like you're a perfectionist too, making sure that every sound is absolutely
Well, you
beautiful.
know, it wasn't really because of the way the song sounded. It was more a thing of, you know, I want to get my social media presence right before releasing the songs, you know, because there's like the music side of things and there's the business side of things. And you gotta have both if you want to succeed in this industry. So, you know, I didn't want to just release and nothing happens like a lot of music. And, you know, for my first song, I did some pretty decent numbers, if I say so myself. And I'm very pleased with the result so far.
Yeah, yeah. You're just getting on the scene. It's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not bad for you just getting on the scene. Uh, we definitely want to promote you as much as you can because you definitely have it. You have that skill,
Hey,
and
thanks, man.
yes, yes, yes. Hopefully, you get. It is like going forward in your career. Like, what are your plans? I know, like intervals, it's more like a solo project, and then you kind of get players when you're going on tours. Like, do you have any plans for tours and stuff? And who who are you looking to, open for? What's your plan for the future?
Yeah, in that sense, I'm just as intervals. Like it's a solo project basically, but like you said, you get the musicians to play on stage. And as of right now, I don't really have anything planned like touring. I don't think I have a big enough fan base yet, but I'm looking very forward to it. Like I really want to go live and do shows, obviously headliners or just support acts. But right now I'm focusing on building up the audience. I'm releasing one song a month, so I'd say when I have 5 or 6 songs out, I could maybe start doing live shows, or I could just do like unreleased music live shows. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea. Just haven't happened yet.
All right, all right, beautiful. Um, so do you have? So you have your social media presence now, um, and like you've self-released, and you like definitely like you have the skill without a doubt. Um, and you're waiting to release your 5 6 songs. How many songs have you actually completed? Not released, but completed.
Yeah. So right now I have 6 songs. I did like an EP, and I originally intended to release it as a full body of work, but I realized that it's not like strategy wise, it's not the best thing. It's better to do singles because you can pitch them to playlists and um, you can market them a lot better if you release single rather than just a big EP or a full body of work. So I have like 6 songs ready, just ready to go. And I'm currently working on like the second wave of songs, if you say so. So I've got like 4-ish more songs that I'm currently working on. And those will be out eventually when the 6 songs come out first.
All right, all right. Yeah, I think yeah, you've definitely figured out how Spotify works. They highlight a particular song and not the album as a whole. It's
Yeah, I've done a lot of research in this area.
yeah. Yeah.
It's important. It's very important. And it's something that it's very overlooked by a lot of artists.
Yeah, I'm sure. Um, you know, uh I we argue that there's a lot more going on, but that's another topic for another time. Uh but um what would you say that every song kind of complements each other as a body of work? Do you feel like they're like different movements, like each song would be a different movement to one great major piece?
Mm, I definitely say that these 6 songs that I made, they are like they kind of have a similar vibe. Not the same by any means, because Cobra is like very trap-ish vibe. Rose Gold has like a kind of like Spanish vibe in some instances, and next songs are there is some heavier songs. There are some EDM type songs. So they definitely have very different landscapes around them, but I feel like they have that same core Shizzo sound that I started to work with. And the 4 songs I told you about that I'm currently working on, they have a different direction for sure.
Oh, okay, okay. So the the mood, well, maybe not necessarily. The moods are different for each song,
Yeah.
but those six songs are really the same EP, and then the next ones you're gonna make after are going to be uh, a completely different EP, basically.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, like you said, they are like in the same EP, like same body of work, and they have a similar aesthetic, but and also they sometimes they share like instruments, even though I have like a very large sample library and I use a lot of electronics sounds and samples and shit like that, but sometimes they share a lot of similar things and sounds. So yeah, they definitely have like a similar aesthetic and vibe to it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're definitely doing something right with the social media presence, because I I I managed to run into you because of that.
Yeah,
And
I was about to ask you that actually. Like, how did you find me?
well, I think I'm not sure if maybe you did follow me or did not follow me, but like I managed to run into you somewhere, and I was looking at different guitarists that were doing very well, and you were definitely on the list. And I had to reach out to you because Cobra is just an amazing body of work. So yeah, this is I'm still very interested in the releasing each EP at a time. Um, Shizzo Music. Um, I just have a question. You released it basically under your own name, um, and it looks like you have the infrastructure to be able to make good production level music. Um, you said that you learned a lot from your father. Is your father helping you in any way, supporting you in any way with your music? Uh, like helping you to bring the word out, or giving you that mentorship?
Yeah, not really. In like my father isn't really a musician. Like he started playing guitar for just for like a hobby, but he's not really a musician, and he doesn't really understand like playlist shit and how social media works and everything that goes into this career. But yeah, my father and my mom, they definitely are helping me out a lot. Like right now I'm in my studio, which they help me bring to life. I actually got out of university to do this. So they definitely are supportive of it. But it's not like a delusional thing. I think I have everything, a pretty clear vision of what I'm intending to do and will do. So it's not just like, oh, mom, dad, I want to get out of university to do music without anything laid on. So it's been like long time coming.
Well, yeah, that's great. You know, they they do teach music at university. Something to think about. But I mean, it's a lot of sight reading. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but I didn't even get to music school. So I actually went to kinesiology school, which I know for a fact that it's like a very big thing in Canada, right?
Mhm.
Kinesiology. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I actually got to kinesiology school, and it just didn't feel right to do that.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to have the energy, and to have the energy, you have to have the drive and the will.
Yeah,
So it looks like you're making the right call. Um, yeah, it's great that you're getting that support. Um,
it is.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I just want to know, like, before the next song, Rose Gold, comes up, what's that, that final message that you want to give to Canadian audience, an audience for our show? Because there's some people in the U.S. that watch, and the just people in general. What would you want them to hear from you?
Um, that's a good question, man. Um, well, I really like making music. Like it's basically my whole life revolves around making music and sharing it. So for anybody that's out there hearing this or listening to my music, like I really appreciate that. And it's basically the point of it so that people can listen to it and hopefully it can help them in any way. Maybe if they are going through some tough times or not, just maybe having some good times. So, the point of me making music is to share it and to people to enjoy it in any kind of way they want. So, and also don't give up on your dreams, people. Go for them. Like you will regret them if you don't. So if you're now, I don't know, if you're struggling with your 9 to 5 job or whatever, and you got uh, some idea you want to go, like just do it. Just do it and don't give up and don't let people discourage you from doing it because that's something I've struggled with. There's always that kind of people that try to put you down, and you gotta go past them and just keep going, man.
That's a great message for everybody. So we're gonna conclude the interview, but we're gonna Rose Gold is gonna be coming up next,
Yep.
for the guitar segment, uh, for the end of the guitar segment, and then we'll go to the political segment after the intermission. So we'll be right back.